Hello my dear student, I am Rakesh Chaube from Sunbeam Sun City. Now my dear, today we will start with the second chapter, and that second chapter is measurement. We start with the second chapter, that is measurement, because we already completed with the first chapter, physical body. So now the chapter 2 is measurement. Now my dear, the very first question in the measurement is, why do we need measurement? Why we are doing measurement? Why we are studying measurement? My dear, you all know that God has given us a sense organ. Now with the help of sense organ, we can judge many things in surrounding, right? But my dear, length, mass, time, temperature, electric current, the name I am talking about, right? Mass, velocity, acceleration, displacement, force, momentum, this cannot be judged with the sense organ, right? So for that reason we require a measurement. I'll repeat, why do we need measurement? Because there are many things. I do agree that you are judging. The sun rising is in the east, the sunset is in the west, you all judge it. So there is a light, there is a sound. But my dear, you cannot judge the intensity of light. You cannot judge the frequency of light. You cannot judge the wavelength of light. This wavelength, intensity, frequency, all are nothing but the physical quantity. So in short, what I mean to say that, my dear, we cannot judge the physical quantities, right? Length, mass, time, temperature, etc. by our sense organ. We have required a proper measurement with a proper device and proper instrument. And therefore, my dear, the very first statement for the topic is, since the physical quantities cannot be judged with our sense organ. I hope it is clear. Since the physical quantities, what are the physical quantities? Cannot be judged with the sense organ. To judge them, we need a measurement. We need a measurement with proper instrument, or you can say or device. So my dear, now the question arises, sir, what is physical quantity? Right? Because I said the physical quantity cannot be judged with the sense organ. And my dear, therefore the physical quantity kisko bola? All those things which need to measure. You can see, you can imagine. I have written physical quantity cannot be judged with the help of sense organ. To judge them, we need a measurement with a proper instrument or device. Am I clear, my dear? So here the question arises, define, the very first question, define physical quantity. Physical quantities, right? To whom we call a physical quantities. So my dear, as I said, to whom we call a physical quantity? The one which cannot judge with the sense organ. So the one which need to measure are called physical quantity. Very clear? The things which need to measure, the things which need to calculate, the things which need to derive, the things which need to formulate are nothing but the physical quantity. So here, we define physical quantity. So answer is, what is the answer? All those quantities, you can say all those quantities which need to measure, all those quantities which need to measure are called physical quantity. are called physical quantities. Right? Example, you can write many example here. Example, you can write length, you can write mass, you can write time, you can write temperature, electric current, etc. There are many huge physical quantity, my dear. I have written little bit. I have written length, I have written mass, time, temperature, electric current. But my dear, there is a more physical quantity: intensity, wavelength, wave velocity, frequency, velocity, acceleration, force, momentum, power, kinetic energy, potential energy. जितना आपको मालूम है, जितने फिजिक्स में आप लोग डेरिवेशन और कैलकुलेशन फॉर्मूला किए हो, दैट ऑल माय डियर द वन विच नीड टू मेजर. यू कैन नॉट कैलकुलेट द मास, you cannot calculate the length with the sense organ, you cannot calculate length by testing, by hearing, by looking. You require a proper measurement. You cannot test a mass by hearing. Try to understand. And therefore I have written the physical quantity cannot be judged with the sense organ. I cannot judge any of them with the sense organ. Am I clear, my dear? So this is are the physical quantity. Now next question is, my dear, when we are doing physical quantity, I said I cannot judge the physical quantity, I need to measure them, and therefore they are called physical quantity. Okay. Now my dear, after this, do you think only a physical quantity is enough to know, is enough to understand? My dear, further science says that this physical quantity are described by two ways. They are described with the help of two things. Any physical quantity. If I will say, I will give you the first the things explanation, and then I will come to give you an example also. Any physical quantity, please listen carefully, any physical quantity are described by two things. They are required to describe by two things. And my dear, the first question under that is define unit of physical quantity. Quantities. Define unit of physical quantities. So my dear, what is the unit of physical quantity is the question, right? Now my dear, try to understand. Here I am giving an example. What is the unit of physical quantity? Now my dear, you all know that, say if I write 50, if I write 20, if I write 25, this is a number for you all. This is a number for you all. Now, if I put here kg, you will immediately, by looking kg, you will say it is mass. Till now, earlier it was a number. 15, 20, 25 was a number. But as soon as I put kg, you said it is a mass. As soon as I put here ampere, A, immediately you will say it is electric current. Right? By looking A. Immediately if I say here meter, M, immediately you will say, sir, this is length. By looking meter, you will say it is length. So what is the meaning of this, my dear? There are so many physical quantity, the science was getting problem to understand who is length, who is mass, who is time, who is temperature, who is electric current, who is velocity, who is force, who is momentum. There was a problem with the people. There were so many scientists, there was a problem how to differentiate, how to distinguish this is length, this is mass and time. And my dear, therefore, the science has given a standard. Try to understand, standard. Am I clear? The standard kilogram is given to the quantity called mass. Am I clear? The standard ampere is a standard given to the electric current. Meter is the standard given to the length. Please try to understand. And these standard which are given to the physical quantity, this standard, kilogram, ampere, meter, degree Celsius, these are the standards given to the physical quantity, my dear, and today they are called as units. I hope you are getting me. So what is unit? Unit is nothing but these all are this meter is the standard. Even ampere is the standard. This is a standard given. Standard. I hope it is clear. Please take care. So what is the unit? Unit is nothing but the standard. The standard, you know, there are so many similar name of the student are in the different class. Similar name. For example, Rakesh name is, there are so many student of Rakesh name is in different class. Now why they are put in the different class? Because to understand which Rakesh is in which class. The college has given you a section. In 10th A, this boy, in 10th B, this Rakesh, in 10th C, this Rakesh. The school has assigned you A, B, C to differentiate you. Similarly, my dear, science has assigned a standard to every physical quantity. Please take care of this word, it is a golden word. That science has assigned the standard to every physical quantity, and that standard which was assigned to physical quantity are called their unit. So here is the answer. The standard given, this is very important word. The standard given to a physical, here I have written example. Example. Right? The standard given to a physical quantity, physical quantities for their measurement are called their unit. Example, here I am writing example more clearly. Kilogram is a standard given to mass, given to physical quantity. Which physical quantity? What is the name of that physical quantity? Quantity. And what is the name of that physical quantity? Mass. Hence kilogram is a unit of mass. Am I clear? Similarly, this is one example. Second example I can write. Ampere. Ampere I can write in a short form. That is this way. Ampere. Right? And in capital this way. Is a standard. Standard given to physical quantity. Which physical quantity? What is the name of that physical quantity? Electric current. Hence ampere denoted by capital A is a unit of किसका बेटा? Unit of electric current. So I hope you clear with this that my dear, these are the standard actually, or आज they are called as unit. And therefore my dear, I have written the standard given to a physical quantity. Kilogram is a standard given to mass, meter is a standard given to length, ampere is a standard given to current, degree Celsius is a standard, or degree Kelvin is a standard given to temperature, right? Similarly, meter per second is a standard given to velocity, meter per second square is a standard given to acceleration, Newton is a standard given to force. I am talking about all those units which have studied in class 10th. But earlier, my dear, class 10, the people used to say they are unit. But today the question is, what is unit? So now you have to say this way. Actually, we have given the standard. The science has given the standard to every physical quantity. And what physical quantity? The one which need to measure. They are length, mass, time, so many physical quantity. But there are enough physical quantity that how to differentiate them. And therefore science think to give a standard to them. And that become a unit. So here, please write it down and then I will proceed.